Well, hello everyone. Yeah, here to show you that the Chores Hobby, as you see right here, is that you say inside of a bathroom. It's like a an ordinary bathroom. Is that you show right here is that as a toilet is like, which I'm say cleaning the toilet, and of course you have right here is a trash can, and of course it's like you have the plunger right here. A lot of times we could probably think about it as the chores hobby, as knowing about the type of things that you would normally think that you would see in like inside of a normal household. It is a household area. It's like you get the plunger, or of course it could be a squeegee or anything like that. We're just knowing about like where hair is with the plunger. The typical things that you think that you would normally have to do, especially like on the weekends, it may not be what you want to do besides say working the bills. Is it talking about is like with the toilet right here, is knowing about whenever it gets clogged or anything like that. You got the plunger that you can plunge out to say whatever that's causing the clog. It is, of course, you got here is a trash can, which I have a few tissues and stuff that went ahead and tossed in there. But on your hand too, that you see right here is the line is like you got right here is the toilet right here, and then you got the lining right here is that you see is like where I have some of the the crumb is like knowing about this, like the things that you would normally see on a toilet. It is, and then of course you have the cleaners right here. You got your Mr. Clean, and then of course you have CLR, and then you also have is like your Lysol right here. And a lot of times that it says on the directions, of course, it's like, of course, kills 99.9% of germs, viruses, and bacteria. It is for bathroom and power and free bathroom cleaner. It is safe for hydroxy peroxide. It is, and a lot of times we probably think about is with our chores. It is knowing about. It's like if we were to read the back, of the containers, is that knowing about. It's like I keep thinking about if most of them would require a magnifying glass just to use, but it says to turn nozzle counterclockwise to prefer the usage to refill, remove a true, and of course apply to the surface until thoroughly wet, and then wipe and then clean with a dry sponge. It is no rinsing required. And of course it's like you have right here is that you have it's like which say is that for the hobby that knowing about right here is the toilet scrubber right here. And then of course it's like I can maybe go on. It's like go on for maybe 10 more minutes about this, but the talk right here is like with the scrub brush is to kind of get the scrub a little bit down of the toilet. It is with say for the normal cleaning that you think be doing, but when I remember that whenever I was young, of course, that I can remember that this right here a lot of times with most of the kids, that they say spend time on the weekends, that they would have a normal chore that they would have to do, especially on the weekends. It is if it's watching TV, or if it's what you call doing something else, maybe hanging out with their friends or something like that. But I remember that one of my chores, either take out the trash or clean the bathroom. It is. But of course, tonight, of course, I'm just getting cleaned up and cleaning up the toilet. Just know that I'm like, while I have time, I'm just doing it, just cleaning, getting all shiny and stuff. And a lot of times, I could probably say about that with most toilets, with most of the time with bathroom cleaning, it is knowing about that by a study about why that they want you to wear gloves most of the time. And I keep thinking about gloves. It's like with most cleaners that they could probably think about that no gloves required or something like that. Now a lot of times some people don't want to bother to put any gloves on, especially if you're going to be using a cleaner like the Lysol cleanser. It is, they get the whole, part of the toilet right here all soaking wet with the Lysol cleaner. It is, and they could probably say maybe at least 8 squirts should be good enough to be able to dissolve all the grease, and then of course with the rumble is like you got the. And so with say the stains and stuff like that from whatever deposits that formed in say in the toilet pot area that you have it to where whatever that goes into the toilet. But really, if you really wanted to go down the toilet, or if you want to maybe pick it up with a sponge or whatever, but a lot of times they could probably think about if you're going to be working with any type of chemicals, such as in the showers, like such as CLR is to know about the safety habits, is knowing about that, talking about, it's like saying clean. For the clean, it's like knowing about, it's like with the bubble bath, it's like talking about with Lightning McQueen, the bubble bath Lightning McQueen. It's like, the bubble bath soap, it is, that go in and enjoy the bath, it is, and knowing about that really, to be able to keep it clean, that's something that you may not want to do either. But on the other hand too, that knowing about my experience of buying cleaning supplies, and then of course with all this other cleaning supply stuff, the things I mainly learn, of course, is knowing about what all that's out there, of course, that can clean what, and then of course on the other hand too, that knowing about the reason to why sometimes I don't even bother to put on gloves, and a lot of times they say it's recommended to wear gloves, and sometimes that they could be hard to get on, but on the other hand too, that knowing about is that there could be some things inside of the cleaning supplies that is like this bottle of Lysol here, that's like knowing about that they say more likely it's you'll say it says no gloves, of course, on the directions, it contains no bleach, it is, but that there are some cleaning products that that could contain bleach, it is, and knowing about is that there is some something on inside it is a chemical or some type of cleanser, it is some type of a chemical formula inside of it that can irritate your skin, and a lot of times they say it's recommended, of course, is to wear gloves. But on the other hand too, that knowing about, I guess this is not really a chore, I guess for everybody it is, anybody who wants to watch their favorite show on TV, or it is if they have to do laundry, fold clothes, whatever it is, that they're more likely, you could probably think about, is like that one of my responsibilities, of course, is keeping the bathroom clean. But really, since but really, since I'm pretty much responsible for keeping my place clean here, that I pretty much have to do all that stuff. But the way I think about it is that the way I think about it is that it really needs to be done on your hand too, because that way that maybe people won't pick on you about the fact about how the bathroom looks, and then on your hand too, to knowing about it, is you can kind of see like the way you have it shiny and stuff, and in a lot of ways that knowing about is keeping your bathroom clean, and makes it looks almost like new again. And on the other hand too, that knowing about it smells a little bit cleaner, and compared to if you were to let that the say it build up or whatever you call it form, and then it's like whatever you want to call it, it's like the normal things that you would see, it's like forming on toilet, if it's rust stains or whatever, that you start seeing a lot of the shine coming in. But there may be some people that may think that they don't want to do it, on their hand too, that they don't have to deal with getting the cleaner out of the cabinet, it is, reaching into the cabinet, and of course pulling out a cleanser, it is. It's like you got right here. I don't. I have a few air fresheners, but like with I have the Mr. Clean right here, and then of course with that Mr. Clean that I have a few cleaning cleansers, of course, inside of for the kitchen area. But of course it's like that. For the kitchen area, that you begin to wonder about that with the kitchen area, is to think about that really that you would think one cleaner will be used for like what you say is all-purpose cleaner, it is. But on the other hand too, that knowing about that what the cleaner head is, if it's a sponge or if it's like a scrub brush for any of the heavy duty stuff, is to know, I'm like, this is it was not a hobby, never was, because really nobody really wants to do it. But On the other hand, too, I guess is knowing about that. Yeah, anything that you can do yourself, that's the way I usually think about it. Anything that you can do yourself, you kind of feel proud of able to do it, other than maybe watching somebody else do it, knowing about, you know, when it has to be done. It is. But on the other hand, too, I guess this is not the worst of it compared to, it's like the trouble it takes into, you say, of unclogging any pipes, or, you know, maybe replacing a toilet lid or anything like that. Or as to say, is you got the toilet paper right here, is a no. Is like with the toilet paper, is a no. That yeah, that, well, you know. On the other hand, too, that if there's a toilet paper, if the toilet paper right here is going to maybe jam, and then you can't get the toilet paper out, it's like, well, I'll go ahead and just use a towel instead. But other than that, to talk about is like what say is you know, for the chores hobby.